What's up, amigos? It's the Prodigy Maker Minute with Chris Lewitt. As you may know, I'm the former #1 for Cornell University, pro circuit player, elite junior development coach, and author and educator, author of The Secrets of Spanish Tennis and the Tennis Technique Bible. And the new Secrets of Spanish Tennis will be coming out later this summer or early fall. I'm super excited. Secrets of Spanish Tennis 2, second edition. Get ready for that, guys. It's going to be great. Updated chapters, a lot of new information in that book, especially about Alcaraz. Wanted to touch on Alcaraz. He's having a very good start to the year, and I'm happy for Spanish tennis. I'm happy for Alcaraz and his team. And I wanted to share with you guys that I think in some ways Alcaraz does not play Spanish tennis. He's not the typical Spanish player, the Spanish type of player. And the way the methodology in Spain is, he breaks a lot of the norms in Spain. He's very iconoclastic, and he's revolutionary in that sense because he's so famous and he's so dynamic, such a big personality. He's going to have a huge impact on kids, not only in Spain, but around the world. A lot of my students themselves are copying Alcaraz, trying the drop shot, trying the forehand inside out drop shot, which may not be the right choice for them at certain times of a match. But there have been Spanish players who have been aggressive the way Alcaraz is and more risk taking, but they've been the minority and they've never been as famous or as successful as Alcaraz. So he's taken this aggressive style where sometimes he'll go for broke, he'll attack the net, he'll shorten points, sometimes he'll spray shots. It's very anti-Spanish. I was doing an NPR interview. There's a big story about Alcaraz and Spanish tennis that I'm helping with and I was interviewed for on NPR. And that's coming out in a few weeks. And I talked with the reporter and I said, in many ways, he's not Spanish in the way he plays. He's the anti-Spanish. And for example, Luis Bruguera and Pato Alvarez would probably, those are the great legends of Spanish tennis coaching, would probably disagree with the way he plays. They would frown upon some of the decisions he makes. I think, at least I would argue that. And essentially, in Spain, the game has always been about keeping your errors low. Pato Alvarez always said tennis is a game of errors, and Luis Bruguera always stressed that you have to be solid, you have to not miss. And Alcaraz breaks that rule fundamentally sometimes, and sometimes he misses a lot, and sometimes he pulls the trigger early, and that is really historically has been unacceptable in the Spanish way of training, the Spanish philosophy. So he's breaking that norm. So I think it remains to be seen whether the entire country as a system will go that way, and whether the coaches and academies in Spain will adopt that approach as sort of a model, a paradigm for others to follow, or if they'll say, okay, that's Alcaraz, that's Carlitos, but for the normal people, for the most of the players, we still need to develop the traditional Spanish way, traditional modern Spanish way, which is, consistency, patience, paciencia, consistencia, developing those types of things, good defense. Alcaraz has those things, but at the level that he's playing at, he doesn't always demonstrate patience, doesn't always demonstrate consistency. So it's really an interesting dynamic and phenomenon where he's Spanish and he's the most famous Spanish player probably now. Maybe he's more famous than Nadal, at least at this moment. And he's a role model, and he makes decisions that go against the grain in Spain, go against the teaching philosophy as it's been for many decades in Spain. So he's single-handedly perhaps evolving the system in Spain and revolutionizing the teaching. There could be some big changes in the way Spain approaches and teaches tennis due to the way Alcaraz plays. Or people in Spain, coaches in Spain may say, okay, that's Alcaraz. He's really aggressive, kind of like a really successful Feliciano Lopez. Like if Feliciano Lopez had the same ability as Alcaraz, Feliciano Lopez well-known Spanish player, maybe not a famous Spanish player, but serve and volley, had a lot of variety. There have been players like that over time. Sergio Casal was a serve and volley player. Joan Balcells was a serve and volley player from Spain. Tomas Carbonell was an aggressive player from Spain. There have been some players, but they never reached this level of success, this level of fame that Alcaraz has. So I'm just wondering what the ripple effect will be from the way that Alcaraz plays, and he represents Spanish tennis, but he represents a very different Spanish tennis than I learned in Spain and that I wrote about in my book, now coming in the second edition as well. It's very interesting. And I talk about this in The Secrets of Spanish Tennis too. So look for that, guys. Hope you like this Prodigy Maker Minute. What do you guys think? Is Alcaraz the new way, the new Spanish way, or is he sort of just an aberration, and that Spain will always continue to produce solid, patient players like Carreño Busta, or name your Nadal's the original example. I think that I was telling a student the other day that a young Nadal played very, very differently than young Alcaraz plays now. Their games are quite different. They're same in some ways, but Nadal was way more patient, way more deliberate, way more defensive, grinding a lot more, extending the points a lot more. And that has been the model in Spain for decades. So Alcaraz is new. He's breaking some of the norms. It's interesting to see where the teaching methodology in Spain will go from here.